how do they determine how much a case is worth?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. So the value of a claim depends on so many different factors. You have to look at the accident itself. Was it something where, it was a real severe impact, lots of twisted metal, broken glass, or if there were symptoms right away, you felt neck pain, back pain, you couldn't move a leg, you broke a bone, you hit your head and had a concussion. What were your initial symptoms or injuries? What type of medical treatment that you received? If you only went to a chiropractor for some therapy versus treating with an orthopedic or a neurosurgeon and undergoing either epidural steroid injections or medial branch blocks and radiofrequency ablation, or ultimately surgery, certainly all those go into a pot, if you will, to help develop the value of your claim. Someone who just treats with a chiropractor, their claim is going to be worth a lot less than somebody who needs and undergoes surgery because it's a more severe injury. So it's really based on the extent of your injury, Steve, and how that progresses or develops over time or stems from the accident.
If I can add to that, Steve, in addition to just the nature of the injury, I think that the client themselves, the effects on their life. Sometimes, we've got a father who was hurt and he can't work anymore, and he's got young children. And the story that is told is, I can't play with my kids anymore. I can't work to provide, food for them. He ends up losing his job because he can't go back to work. He can't play with his children. Their life has been turned upside down. Those are additional factors that the insurance company doesn't always consider, but they should consider that, because I think that when you take a case like that and you put it in front of 6 people in a courtroom who are sitting there for jury duty, and they are parents themselves, and they get up and they understand how important it is to work. When you put somebody like a client like that in front of them, they're going to understand how traumatizing and how devastating the effects of the accident were. And they're going to award the client a lot more money than I think that the insurance company would ever offer. The insurance companies, they look at everything through kind of tunnel vision. Oh, well, the bills are only this much and your client didn't really have surgery. So, here's $10,000. Yeah. I mean, that's how they evaluate cases. And then Lauren and I've got to step up and say, you have to understand, this is a 30-something-year-old parent. He's lost his job. He was making this much money. The family is broke. The family had to move. They had to sell their house. All of those other factors come into play. And Lauren and I, what we do is we get to know our client, and we get to understand what they like to do, what their responsibilities are in their home. And we present a story to the insurance company. So it's so much more than just what treatment did they have.
What about the judge? Does that have anything? Does that determine? I mean, are every judge, are they different? Or they basically give out the same? Um, does that matter who the judge is in the case?
Typically, you're asking for a jury trial, so the judge doesn't
Okay.
have any input into the amount awarded. With regards to, are they different? Judges are human beings, right? So
Right.
every human is different. But I would like to think that the majority, if not nearly all, of the judges follow the law and try at least to make the correct rulings, based on our arguments to them and the law that we present to them as precedent. But with regards to the amount that's recovered, unless it's a bench trial, Steve, they don't get any input.